Welcome back to the 30-day wellness journey. If you finished yesterday's inspired action, I'd love to hear in the comments below what some of your inspired actions were and what were some of the things that you did in regards to your relationship with money and finances. So we're here, day 10, and today we're going to talk about occupational self-care. So occupational self-care is all about your career, your job, kind of your purpose for making money, how you make money, ways to make money. And so what has really inspired me is that now in present day, in 2021, or whatever time of year you're watching this video, there's so many ways to make money. It's no longer the traditional 9 to 5 for 45 years. You can do a 9 to 5, you can do weekend jobs, you can do evenings, you can become your own boss, you can be an entrepreneur, you can connect in the online world, you can be a coach, you can be anything. And that is just so exciting that we're no longer limited to, I remember being young and people would be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you had like the 5 options. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, teacher, and that was like kind of it. And so now there's so many options. And the cool thing about it is that there are jobs that didn't even exist, you know, a couple decades ago. For example, here on YouTube, I'm able to create awesome videos, and back in the 90s, that wasn't even a thing. And so sometimes we get to be really inspired by different options and different jobs. And so today's video is all about having self-care with your current job and having a really healthy relationship with your current job. And if you're not happy or satisfied with your current job, finding ways to find happiness in your job and that purpose. Also talking about boundaries. So occupation, career, job, ways we make money is a lot to talk about. So let's get started. So ask yourself, how do you make money? So in the last video, we talked about how we spend money, and today's video, we're all talking about how do you make money. And there's so many ways to make money. There are and I don't want to say traditional versus non-traditional, because I don't think that kind of works any longer in our culture and our society. But asking yourself, how do you make money? Do you make money by somebody paying you for services that you've completed? Do you make money by going to show up somewhere, kind of like an hourly job? You clock in and then you clock out. Or do you make money based off services? Such an example, maybe you are an online course creator, and so you make money by the people who sign up for your courses, or there's so many different things. Also, a really big thing that's in the media now are these things called side hustles, which is just other ways to supplement your income. And a lot of times that can start from your hobbies that you kind of transfer over to make money for your side hustle. So asking yourself, how do you make money? And then ask yourself, do you like your job? Do you like what you do? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? How did you get into this field? What does that look like? And so a lot of times our job satisfaction and our happiness at our career and our occupation really leaks out into so many other areas. And so if we have really poor job satisfaction, or if we're really unhappy with our career or how we make money, that will really leak into other areas in our life. And as a result, our overall happiness, our overall wellness is going to be lowered. So asking yourself, if I'm unhappy with my current job, was there ever a time I was happy and something happened? Maybe I got a new boss, or they changed my schedule, or I just feel burnt out in this field or in this career. Asking yourself, what can I realistically do to kind of shake it up or change? Asking yourself, do I love my coworkers and that's what keeps me going? Or do I love working for myself? And so asking yourself, your job satisfaction, that will really kind of give us a starting point on where you need to like work your self-care. So if you're in a job where you're unable to change, and maybe there are some circumstances, maybe you signed a contract or you're working so many things that you have to stay and you can't find a new job, asking yourself, what can I do to give my job more excitement? And the next things are not going to be job related. So something you can do is shop for new clothes. And so if you have new outfits that make you feel really happy, make you feel inspired, make you feel motivated, showing up to work in an outfit that makes you feel empowered is gonna set the tone, and it's really gonna change the day for you. Also, take your breaks. If you have breaks, take take them. If you would rather get off early and not use your breaks, don't do that. Take the breaks, because if you can break up the day, you're going to have more time for yourself and you're going to have more job satisfaction as a result. Another thing you can do is actually take your lunch, whether that's bringing exciting food or getting takeout. So often we get so bored, we feel like we're on autopilot at work because we're just kind of going through the motions. And if we can pause and eat a really yummy, nutritious meal, that can really help change up the day and help with that job satisfaction. Another thing that you can do is talk to your boss and say, you know, I've been really unhappy. And that might be the scariest thing to do, is to let them know that you're unhappy. But a lot of times I've worked with, and I do professional development on the side, so a lot of the clients that I've worked with, when they've been able to tell their boss that they're unhappy, the boss is way more likely to work with them and make things better versus them burning out and them quitting on a moment's notice on an impulse. So if you are unhappy, talking to your boss, talking to whoever you work with, the agency or employer, that you are unhappy and you're not sure what that looks like to be happy, but you know the current way is not it. You also might be in a space where you're kind of doing some career exploration. You might be wondering, what kind of job do I want? What kind of career do I want? And this is a really fun place to be. So something you could do for that is go online and just search different types of jobs. And what you can do, which is kind of fun and not reality, but you can go on Instagram and look at different careers, and what you can do is you can message them and say, hey, how did you get into this career? How did you get into this life? I really like what you're showing. And a lot of times, unless they have like millions of followers, they'll respond. I'm always surprised on how many people will respond to my messages that I send them on Instagram, or even on YouTube. You can comment and say, hey, I really like your life. Tell me how you got to where you're at. And then sometimes what they'll do is they'll actually create a video on how they got to where they're at. And that can be really inspiring. So ask yourself, what do I want? I no longer have to stick to one job for the rest of my life. I can do a bunch of different careers, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a new job every year because you're trying to figure it out, great. Keep trying to figure it out until something feels right for you. Again, going back to that emotional self-care, checking in with that emotions. Is this an impulse to quit my job, or is this an impulse to find a new job? Do I feel like I don't want to deal with the drama and I want to leave? So those are all things that you can kind of explore as you're nurturing your kind of career self-care. So a reflective question today is, what are you currently doing for your occupational self-care routine? Are you wearing awesome clothes when you go to work? Do you take your breaks? Are you having really yummy meals? You're not just doing top ramen or boring, microwavable food, doing things that are going to excite you, add life to your workday. And have you ever told your boss you're unhappy, or have you ever taken a risk and maybe started your own business? I know me personally, when I started my own counseling practice, I was so nervous because I hadn't met anyone else personally in my inner circle that had started their own business. And so I was really starting something totally by scratch, and it totally worked out. And it was kind of that snowball effect where it started out really slow, but then it just snowballed and it grew so fastly. And I was so grateful that I took that leap of faith and started my own business. So an inspired action today is, what is something you can do to elevate your occupational self-care? Can you buy a new work outfit? Can you maybe get some pretty lunch Tupperware to excite your meals? Can you talk to your boss and let them know, hey, is there something we can do to kind of switch up my work routine? I'm feeling kind of burnt out, or I'm feeling kind of unhappy here. I'd love to stay, but I need something to change. And those are all things that you can do when you have the power and the option to make those changes. So that wraps up today's video. If you liked that, give it a like on the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I've got another video coming out tomorrow. Have a great day.